Good morning, everyone. The Delaware County Commissioner meeting for May 27th, 2021 is now in session. And I'm going to ask Tim Wilson, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, good morning, everyone. I'm Gary Merrill, President of the Board this year. To my left is Vice President Commissioner Barb Lewis. And to my left and to my right is Commissioner Jeff Benton. And Art Fromer and Don Houston are with us as well today, as are our clerks, Sarah and Jennifer. Proceed.
Resolution number 21-455, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held May 24th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-455. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-456, in the matter of approving purchase orders, then and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch numbers CMAPR 0526 and memo transfers in batch numbers MTAPR 0526.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-456. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-457, in the matter of granting the annexation petition of .384 acres of land in Orange Township to the city of Columbus.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-457. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-458, in the matter of approving a quitclaim deed to consolidate the historic courthouse lot with the remainder of the jail lot in a vacated segment of St. Patrick's Street.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Staff Attorney Eric Hostetler. This issue is required as a part of the transfer of the jail to the land bank. Condition of that transfer was that the commissioners would take the remaining parts of the courthouse lot, the jail lot, and the vacated street behind the courthouse and consolidate them into one lot. So this quitclaim deed will allow us to do that. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Questions or comments? Very good. A vote.
Vote on motion 21-458. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-459, in the matter of approving cooperative agreement between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and the Delaware County Convention and Visitors Bureau Incorporated.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Daly, Delaware County Economic Development. This is just a agreement to continue our partnership with the Conventions and Visitors Bureau to promote the Polaris Mall District in Southern Delaware, and I invite Tim Wilson to come up and say a few words.
Good.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, actually, we certainly appreciate the opportunity, partnership, with County Administrator. We've been working diligently to improve our relationship in the mall area. And dive deeper into that. It's certainly been a tough year, 2020, coming out of COVID. We all saw these random acts of violence at the mall, which certainly doesn't help consumer confidence. Honestly, this program could not come at a better time, as we're starting to see consumer confidence bolstered by the relaxed COVID regulations. So we certainly don't need to see any other social media problems come up from and stigmatized from any random acts of violence at the mall. So it honestly couldn't come at a better time. Not only affects positively the 170 businesses within the mall, but literally the hundreds of businesses and ancillary businesses that support the mall and are supported by the mall, including probably 2/3 of Delaware County, honestly. They welcome 10 million visitors a year to the mall. That doesn't even include all the folks at the destination stores along the whole Powell Road corridor. So from Powell all the way to Sunbury, it certainly has a humongous net effect, the folks coming into town to visit the mall. So I'll take any questions with regards to how we're going to handle that, but it'll be mostly a social media, video, social influencer campaign, which we expect to reach probably 6 to 7 million people.
Any questions or comments?
Good campaign. I've seen the background, and a lot of thought has gone into it, so it's a well-timed and important one, so good to see.
I agree.
And I know there's, having been at Polaris too, and we're also privy to information about the security at the mall. The security has been stepped up in the mall, so everyone should feel safe going there.
It certainly has. It certainly has, and Inspire, I know, is working diligently. They have a lot of experience with messaging and crisis messaging, things like that. This obviously isn't a crisis, but we certainly want to destigmatize anything that people have heard via social media or conventional media. So, yeah, moving forward, I think we'll be in lockstep with Polaris and their marketing folks to reassure everyone that, the security and improvements are there, but it's a safe, family-friendly environment, and highlight all the positive attributes of the area, all the exciting things to do and the ways to spend a weekend, or a week.
And the other thing I'd like to add is we're consistent in the message that we deliver, and that's shop Delaware County, especially coming out of the virus. And I think this is just an extension of that. And Tim and I spoke briefly before the meeting. We're promoting Delaware County, and specifically an area that is very important to our county, important to all of us. And coming out of the virus and some of the issues that have occurred over the last few weeks or months. I was out in that area last weekend. Amazing, the traffic. I think people are looking forward to getting back out. Polaris and Delaware County as a whole are great places to shop, and I encourage everybody in our county to shop, and outside the county to shop here as well, and we'll take good care of you. And thank you for the work you're doing and you're going to do on this project.
Absolutely. Our pleasure.
Thank you.
When I was last there, it's really beautiful. There were several new shops, and I do shop there regularly and do my part, I must add. And
Well, we appreciate that.
Well, I did my part last weekend, too.
yeah, I bet I go there more than you.
Well, you probably do.
I mean, if we're going to compare.
And one particular aspect of the mall, I think it maybe gets overlooked, is there are a lot of sole proprietors. It isn't, I think sometimes malls may be seen as larger big box stores, but there is an uptick in sole proprietors in the mall and one-off
Yes.
offerings, which those unique offerings will bring a lot of folks in from miles away. So very excited.
Yes.
And getting out to not only shop, but eat.
Correct.
I think everybody enjoys the opportunity to get back out and have the camaraderie of eating with family and friends. And in that area, in Delaware City and Powell and Sunbury, all the other issues that have really terrific places to eat and shop.
Absolutely.
So let's do our part.
Yeah,
And you can't talk about Polaris without mentioning Topgolf.
Oh, that's right.
You could, but we didn't.
You can't have a good conversation about
Right,
Polaris
right.
without mentioning Topgolf.
But yeah, Topgolf figures in just one of the many destinations in Delaware County that people will come for hours away. IKEA, Topgolf, some of these destination stores. So we have people come from Cleveland, Toledo, all over to
That's
come
right.
down and join us
IKEA's
in
right
Delaware
there.
County. So it's,
And all the other good golf courses in the county as well.
well,
Oh, two of the top 100 in the
right.
country. Right here in Delaware County.
So, thank you very much.
Also,
Thanks.
the Lyra Drive is being extended,
Yeah.
up to Powell Road, so that's gonna help that area as well.
That's right. I was just at Costco yesterday, and of course I noticed that,
Yeah,
The
they
construction,
And we-
around Lyra.
And we go there frequently. Vote?
Vote on motion 21-459. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-460, in the matter of approving the 2020 Local Agricultural Easement Purchase Program Cooperative Agreement between the Ohio Department of Agriculture and the Delaware County Commissioners.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Rebecca Longsmith, Delaware Soil and Water Conservation District. This agreement is very similar to ones you've signed in the past. This covers the 2020 application period. We finished closing the 2018 landowners earlier this year. We still have 2019 pending as well. This goes until June 30th, so next month because of the state budget. Once that's passed, I'm expecting we'll have a renewal of the agreement to sign as well.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I noticed it's 183,000.
So that's
This year.
that's the price. It varies from year to year.
Yeah.
They use a formula to calculate the amount that they're giving to each landowner. And here in Delaware County, because we have such high land valuation, we get the max offer for pretty much all of our landowners, which is $2,000 per acre. So that's where
And
that number comes from.
that's quite a bit lower than we've been receiving in prior years.
So this is just one easement. In
Okay.
2018, for example, we closed 5.
Okay, so fewer
2000
applicants then.
Sorry?
Fewer applicants?
They are increasing the number of local sponsors across the state, so the pot of money is getting divided up a little bit more. So we are receiving a little bit less, but it depends really on the size of the farm that applies. We've had some large farms in the past. This was kind of mid-sized, a little bit smaller that got selected.
And the only thing I'd like to add is, it's a great program, and putting these farms in preservation is very important. And also protecting the landowners around who may at some point want to develop, and we've tried to do that through the way we've put this program together, because we want everybody to have the opportunity to have the proper use of their land as they see it. So I think we've accomplished that, and I think it's a great program.
I know the landowners are very appreciative of those that have gone through, and they express that, and thank you for making this an opportunity in our county.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 21-460. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-461, in the matter of approving an intergovernmental agreement by and between the Delaware County Board of Developmental Disabilities and the Delaware County Board of Commissioners for Facilities Management and Facilities Maintenance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, John Melvin, Director of Facilities, and Jared Zarella is here with DD. Our current agreement to provide maintenance service for the DD expires end of June, so this is to renew that agreement.
It's the same cost or any adjustments? Or?
There is adjustment. We did include a $5 per hour overhead into the labor rate.
Other questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-461. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Okay, that brings us, I believe, brings us to administrative reports. I believe Commissioner Lewis, you want to talk about TCAP? You want to do that during your comments?
No, that's fine. I can do it now.
Go ahead.
That's fine. One of the things before us that I know our administrator has been talking with some of the judges, and I've been talking with one in particular, and so we've been reaching out to other people, but there is an option to go into what we call TCAP. And TCAP, just to explain what that is a program which seeks to require nonviolent felony 5 offenders to complete their sentence in communities. Primarily, it seeks to keep Ohio's prison population down, and of course, that means that we are going to be picking up the expenses for these people who are eligible for the program. Our Justice and Public Safety Committee considered this program. It was actually March 21st, 2017. And so I am on that committee and so am familiar with it. The program right now is given consideration, is being considered in the legislature as to whether we should make it mandatory. And if they make it mandatory, then all the counties will have to join. So far, there are 28 counties who have not joined. We are among those counties who have not joined. And if we're going to join, we have to make a decision before June 7th, which is why this is for us today. I'll just make a couple comments and then we can discuss. The disposition, and this is from a statement that our Justice and Public Safety Committee made, as I just mentioned, in 2017, and we have not changed our position on this. The disposition and rehabilitation of felony offenders is the responsibility of the state. This program would result in a major paradigm shift, transferring that responsibilities to the counties. And other reasons for our opposition: there is no infrastructure in place to provide the rehabilitation, treatment, and security services required for the program. The state is saying and giving people who join TCAP, saying that there are certain monies available to set up this structure. The structure, though, we do have certain structures, certainly, because you're familiar with stepping up, but that is addressing in particular a different group of people. Stepping up deals with those with mental health challenges. So we would have to use our money, and the money would actually be, the actual spending of the money would be under the Community Corrections Act, which is not the commissioners. It is through our courts. The other point, counties are already subsidizing the state's cost of incarcerating these offenders by housing them in our jails, and this is at our expense. And this is one of my big points why I've opposed this program in the past. The program eliminates our judges' discretion in sentencing and removes their ability to use a potential prison sanction as a consequence of a violator's offense. And additionally, this proposal fails to consider that felony 5 convictions are often the result of initial higher felony level charges. So we just have to decide whether we want to join TCAP, and we should do it today, because we're not going to be in session again until after the.
We should join or not join today?
Correct.
Okay, okay, just want to make sure to clarify.
Oh, sure, thank you.
Mr. Binion, anything you want?
You know, a lot of people that I really respect have spent time studying this. Mr. Lewis, Sheriff Martin, the various judges. We don't have very many F4, F5s, as I understand it. And so to develop programs that would be targeted toward a handful of offenders seems like not really the best thing to do for just a few people. So, you know, unless I'm missing something, it seems like we should just not participate in this program. You know, again, our judges have spent a lot of time talking about it. There's been some back and forth. There's been some good considered thought and research, and so on. And I think overall our judges are saying probably it's best that we pass at this point.
Yeah, my comments are pretty consistent with what both of you have shared. First of all, I respect our judges considerably, and taking a tool away from them that allows them to get the best result for the benefit of our county and the safety in our county. I don't think that's a good thing. I think the number, if I remember correctly, it's $700,000 that the state throws out there, waves in front of us. But at some point, the money...
As potential reimbursement.
Potential reimbursement if the money's there.
Yeah.
But theoretically, you can get out of the program if it's not
Look
there.
at indigent care.
Yeah.
As a,
So, let's assume for the moment the money is there. Is that still good? Is that still good for the residents of our county? And the safety of our residents, I place at a higher level than that. I have a high respect for our judges, and to the credit of our judges, they're willing to do whatever we feel appropriate, and that's because they're team players. But they do express consistently the concern that we take away a tool that they can use, and the state wants to save money, and they feel like this is a way they can lessen the numbers in the prisons. I don't think that's our responsibility as a county. It's our responsibility to take care of the residents in our county. So I believe I'm consistent in
Yes.
what I've heard from
Sounds
my
so.
fellow commissioners, and
Yes.
I think we will be one of the 28 that aren't currently doing it, and hopefully those 28 will continue to be on that list.
Yes.
But I'm
Yes.
guessing some will
Right.
transition, so to speak. But I think we're all in agreement, so we pass.
do we need to take action to
That's,
pass?
that's
I
what
think we do. I didn't think we did.
our council is saying, no, we don't need to take any action. Then that was, yeah, I just
We would
wanted
need
to
to take action
clarify
if we're going to
that.
do it, but
Right, if we do it, we would take action.
I mean,
I'll go ahead and I can communicate to the judges and sheriff And everybody, you know, we've had, like you said, we've had a great dialogue on it. I thought it was a very healthy conversation. We explored it, took everybody's, you know, viewpoint, so.
Yeah, the only action that would be required from this board would be if you wanted to participate, the commissioners need to sign the memorandum of understanding with the state. If you're not interested in participating, there's no action
Okay.
that's necessary. You don't have to vote no. You just, by not adopting the
Okay.
resolution to approve the MOU, we're not participating.
Okay, thank you.
And you might want to let the committee that you serve on know that Delaware County chooses not to participate. since
Okay,
you're
I
part-
shall, thank you.
Okay. Since you're already talking, anything else you want to cover, then we'll go to Mike after you.
Let's see, last night I participated in Bridges Community Action Meeting, and the big conversation there was having to increase the amount of people's salaries, especially hiring, but actually, as it turned out, across the board, because some employees had left, because they could get, other entities were hiring and paying more, and it was mentioned then as far as even hiring new people, Taco Bell was $16 an hour, and Bridges Community Action started at $12.50, and so I don't know about the benefits at Taco Bell, but certainly, you know, we're in a situation where we all see hiring, you know, signs, and boy, we're all aware of that dilemma. So anyway, we moved ahead and allocated more money. It's actually up to our executive directors, so we didn't need to vote on that, but we just said, okay, you know, we agree, we need to up the salaries and move on so we can make sure and that we can continue all administering all the programs that Bridges is receiving with government aid. So millions and millions of dollars are coming in.
And this is all created by a federal government who has no understanding of common sense and creating situations with the stimulus dollars that, unemployment dollars that are raising
And
the incentive
Right,
not to work,
right.
and that's putting more pressure on the Taco Bells, which therefore puts pressure on other groups.
yeah.
And it's unfortunate that we have an administration right now that doesn't understand that, and I don't mind saying that for the record. So,
I know the governor has taken action,
In-
as have
towards the end of
several
June.
other states,
Right.
right, to.
to the governor's credit,
Yeah, to discontinue the $300, yeah, in unemployment. I think that goes into effect at the end of June.
June 20, 22nd, somewhere there.
Oh, okay. That's it,
That's
thank
it.
you.
Mike, we'll pass the baton to you, then we'll go to Commissioner Benton.
I just wanted to add on a little bit to, you know, the conversation with the Polaris, you know, in working with Tim Wilson the last year at the CVB, you know, it's been a very good collaborative tool, I think, for the county to, you know, they really have a good, Tim has a great pulse of the businesses that, you know, we spend a lot of time getting the infrastructure and the economic development to get the businesses established. But, you know, bringing the visitors, particularly with retail, is what's going to keep them going. And it's been great. You know, he's brought a breath of fresh air to that group, and I've worked with him on 2 projects this year, and it's been outstanding. So looking forward to more kind of folding that into the cycle of our businesses and economy, in addition to commissioners, economic development, and the CVB. So that's all I wanted to bring up.
Commissioner Benton.
Just a couple of things, kind of continuing on Commissioner Lewis's comments about pay scales and the impact. I participated in the State Treasurer's Regional Advisory Board meeting yesterday, and it includes representatives from around the region, Central Ohio region, and everyone on the call has the same issue. Finding people, pay increases, wage inflation, and there's a general concern that, you know, what drives long-term structural inflation is wage inflation, and we're seeing it now. And we don't want to return to the 70s and 80s where we had sky-high inflation and deteriorating purchasing power and so on and so on. So hopefully this is transitional. It isn't permanent, but obviously time will tell. The other thing that came out of that call, which was really intriguing, is that there is, the state treasurer has a program called OMAP, Ohio Market Access Program. That what that does is it lends the treasurer's guarantee, if you will, to local borrowing. But the limit is 1 year. So it doesn't have broad appeal because, you know, for bigger borrowing needs, it's generally beyond 1 year for roads, sewers, water projects, buildings, et cetera. But they're looking at changing that so that it's a long-term guarantee as well. And effectively that enables local jurisdictions, townships, villages, that could, again, it's just a proposal at this point, it could enable local jurisdictions to borrow money for those type of projects at a much cheaper rate, much quicker. And you know, they don't have to be rated. The treasurer of state's got a very high rating, the highest rating, I think. And so that credit enhancement, that guarantee, would make borrowing by those smaller local jurisdictions who aren't rated much easier and cheaper. So that's positive. The Treasurer Sprague is a forward-thinking guy, and he's trying to create an economic development environment where, you know, we can get things done quickly and inexpensively. So I applaud him for that. We've got regional planning tonight, virtual again, a lot on the agenda. It's amazing how busy that organization is. Montagne School groundbreaking for the middle school near Berlin School is this 5:30 this afternoon. Open house tomorrow from 1 to 3 for the historic courthouse for just employees, though, right? And Jane and Heather have it all mapped out, so everybody knows exactly where to go and how to get through the tour and so on, so I'm sure it'll be very well run. And then I did confirm on that same regional advisory call that townships should be receiving the ARPA funding through the state. It's the non-entitlement units, the NEUs, that are going to be receiving money that the state is receiving and passing through to the local townships, small villages, or villages and small cities. So that's the plan. I know we've had a lot of inquiries from townships and others about whether some of the county's ARPA money would be made available to them, but my understanding again is the state's money is going to be allocated, a portion of that is going to be allocated to those jurisdictions. So anyway, that's all I got.
Okay, just to your point about the tour tomorrow for public employees for this building, there will be a public tour later in the summer once we get COVID a little further down the road. So we're looking forward to showing this building off to the residents of our county who have an interest as well. But tomorrow is for the employees, but there will be a date sometime, I'm going to say midsummer. There's no date been specified, but we certainly want to do that, and we look forward to doing that at the appropriate time. Attended Mary Beth Freeman's retirement event yesterday, and we talked about it a little bit on Monday. Mary Beth has been a great ambassador for our county and a great superintendent for the Career Center, and I've had an opportunity to work with her on many projects, and I wish her the best in her retirement. She's got a lot of trips planned. I think she said 6 over the next 6 months.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
Good for
so and she promised me that after she gets through all of that and settles down, that she will get re-involved in some form in the county. And I said, we have a lot of boards that you would be perfect for. So hopefully she'll follow through on that.
Look how that organization has transformed during her tenure.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 smallish campuses to this very large, very new, very well done campus.
Yes.
And she's done a great job in
Yep.
Oh, sure.
steering through all of that. I know you guys were all disappointed last night at, 7:30 when your names weren't called for the
Oh, the back.
Oh,
lottery.
the backs,
yeah.
So I was hoping to hear one of your names called, but they weren't. So I guess nobody's gonna be resigning next.
It was somebody out of Cincinnati, I think.
Yeah, if it's some suburb, and I start with a B, I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure that person's quite happy today. The only other thing I have, and we talk a lot about sports. Commissioner Benton talks about golf, and I'm a big supporter of college.
When have I ever done that?
A few times. But there's going to be an event this weekend, and yes, I'm a little prejudiced, but women's softball, women's sports in general has come so far over the last 25 years. And the sports at the highest level in women's collegiate sports for women, they perform at such an outstanding level. And there's going to be a unique event on Saturday that is unique. It'll be the first ever women's softball game that's been on network TV, ever.
Oh, that's neat.
And it's going to be Oklahoma and Washington. And
Imagine that.
well, but the point is, it's such a neat thing for women's sports, and I don't think there's a better sport than women's softball. And if you start watching, you will get involved in it. You'll get active in it.
Yeah.
Well,
No, go ahead.
and if you want to talk about golf, one of the teams that are in the championship for
Oh,
golf
no,
this year
here we go.
also happens to be from where?
Oklahoma, you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, okay. So, and we're seated second in that tournament. So hopefully we'll have a couple of victories to celebrate over the next few weeks. And I'm sure if we don't, so say you're gonna let me know it. But again, at 3 o'clock on Saturday, just the enjoyment of a great sport. Forget about who the players are. It's impressive if you watch it. You're gonna see some impressive young ladies playing at a very high level, and we should all be very proud of that. I believe we have need for executive session.
We do.
Yeah. Before that, we have to mention that there is ice cream at the open house
Yeah,
for the
that's right.
employees.
For
so-
employees.
Right, for
Yeah, all the
employees.
public's gonna want this ice cream too.
Yeah.
Resolution number 21-462, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of employment, compensation of a public employee or public official for pending or imminent litigation for collective bargaining.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 21-462. Mrs. Lewis.
Oh, aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
With that, we're now in executive session.